Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. We're going to do a little process video today of making, I was making these cute little flip up journals that actually I give as gifts in with my books, and sometimes pop them into Happy Mail, and then also use them in the journals themselves for extra writing room. And I make these out of legal size envelopes, but they're a little bit different in the fact that I decoupage them and or collage them out of a variety of different things, and then before I seal them, I cut a little slit in them, and so I have a pocket. Let me move these aside so I can just show you these. And I thought, well, why don't we just make one together? And you may want, and these would be cute to pop in a Mother's Day card. And what I do is I end up doing on both sides, so you have a place for a tag here and a place for a tag here, and then I'll show you the inside of these. And this one, I used a napkin and then some old vintage book page. I did a little cluster here and then a little trim. And then with these, I put the tie at the bottom of them to coordinate with the, whatever paper I use. So this kind of pops up like this, and there is a tuck spot here. I make a little pocket, and then my variety of papers in it, and it's a good sized tablet, and then another tuck spot here, and I will fill these with other, isn't she cute? This I got off of the Graphics Fairy. I just pop that in, and then I'll put one in the back, and then I'll put one on the inside ones, and then tie this back up and either use it in a journal. And I made a variety of different colors, and I used Stamperia tissue paper. I think they call it rice paper, and we're probably going to use that today with some other things. And we're going to do some decoupage and then a little collage. And then this one, you can see I have a little Tim Holtz flower there. Sometimes I'll come in and do a little stamping on them and things like that. So here you can see the tuck spot back here, tuck spot there. And I'm not going to open all these. I'll just show you the front, but there's different pockets in each. Some pockets I layered, some pockets I didn't, so they're all similar. And then I put these, I make little tags and stuff like that. This one is like it's got some lavender on it, and there's a napkin here, and then some tear paper, collage type sheets, and there's a little fussy cut there, and some sorry. So whatever trims and stuff I have laying around, I'll put. Now this one, I simply used a large piece of vintage tissue paper and just decoupage the whole thing right on the envelope. And then came in with some color box pigment archival gold ink to give that, metallic. And then I stamped some muslin with in black script, and then did some gold over the top. And this one I did not put a pocket in the back. And then what I did, I think this one might be just a little bit different. You can mix them up, make them whatever way you want. And see, I did a little trim in the gold all the way around the little postcard here, and then the similar trim as the pocket, and then here is a pocket there, and then a pocket here. So that one's in the neutral colors with some metallic. This one again has got some lavenders and just different colors, some pinks, and used vintage music paper in this one. So, and then some beautiful vintage fabric here, and just added a little crystal there, and some different trims. This one is a very shabby chic style to it. Isn't she cute? And I just did an eyelet with some sari here, a sari tie. I've got some couple types of ribbon here, and a ball pin with some beads. And this is Stamperia paper on here, and I actually just decoupaged the whole piece, but that can get a little costly, so today we're just going to tear it and add it with some other things, the one we're going to do. And then this one is all antique, very antique style. So I did a variety of Stamperia, the Stamperia tissue paper or rice paper, both sides, and vintage music paper. And I think this one I might have, no, one of these I came in and decorated the tuck spots. So I probably will do that before I finish them, but this is a good start. And so I'm going to move this paper down, and we'll use this as some mop-up paper when I ink. And this is the size envelope I'm using, but I had so many of these because I used to make cards in this size. So, but the legal size envelopes, you can use your junk mail legal size envelopes. They're going to be maybe a little smaller than this, but whatever size you use, you know, will work in this project. So this one's 9.5 by 4. So that's what we're going to use, and I'm going to open up I've got Stamperia rice paper here we're going to use. I've got this paper from Pink Monarch Prints, which is a tear sheet, so I'll be tearing that apart. This I believe it's from Antique Paper A. I had that in my stash, and I thought, well, this would be fun for using for decoupage or collage, and then an old piece of music paper. So let me put these aside. We're going to start here, and we're going to start tearing and ripping, and then I'll show you the construction of it and how to make your little slit in there and all that good stuff. So I've got some Mod Podge here, and let me put that back there. Make sure I'm angled. Do we have any glare here? I don't think so. And get some paper towels because I have my my paintbrush in some water back there. And for this I just use a old paintbrush. I don't use my good watercolor paintbrushes or anything like that. So I think we will put this over here so I have it, and I think I'm just going to start tearing and gluing. So just rip book pages, music pages. You can do the whole thing with just book pages. You could do it with you know, of course, your napkins, any type of decoupage papers you might have, vintage music, regular music paper. What else do we, or you can just use your paper scraps and do it more like a collage. So this is a good way to use up. It's a scrap buster. It can be. I'm just going to tear several pieces of this right now, and then we will start, and I hope I can make this a one-parter. It might be a two-parter. I wasn't intending on doing this video at all because I want to start into a tutorial series again, and I think, I haven't decided, but I am leaning toward the making of a lap book with you guys. and my version of a lap book, which will be a soft cover, series of covers it is, because this lap book is going to have 3 spines in it. So it's going to be fun. I have not made one before, but I came in and made a template yesterday of the way I wanted to construct it, and after the 3rd try, I finally figured it out. Because I kind of play around with, you know, when I make templates first, like for all my folder projects and things like that. That's the way I do it. Because I don't, you know, I might be inspired by other people's, all right, I think that's enough of that. And let me grab some ink here. And I'm going to use my archival brown ink. And I'm going to find my inker, and I want to, first of all, I'm going to come in and just ink the edges all the way around in case, because, you know, ink doesn't adhere as well after you get your Mod Podge on. So I like to kind of ink the edges first. Sometimes I will wrap the tissue over the top and like that. Okay. So what I was saying, whoops, I need to ink these. I will get inspired and then remember, you know, give that person recognition, but I usually I come up with all my own because it keeps my brain going, and it causes me to, I guess it's more a challenge. I have to have a challenge. So I like to, you know, construct things myself, because I just, it's like I get a sense of, I don't know how to say it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I get a sense of satisfaction that way, where it's like, oh, you know, I had to actually use some math skills on that, which I don't have really that many of, but it's fun for me to, you know, come up with different kinds of ways to construct things. And you know, so I always say, I don't even know if you really want to call this a lap book, but that's what I've seen ones that kind of fold out and do what this thing is going to do, hopefully. So I thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride, because it's going to be a ride. Yep. Since I have not ever constructed anything like this. It should be a fun series. So I appreciate all you guys that watched my last series and commented. You know, the comments and the thumbs up, they help me, because sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm putting myself out there, you know, this is not a monetary channel, and, you know, I sell some journals, but I've been selling journals long before I ever started my YouTube channel, and fortunately have some good repeat customers and stuff like that, and I mean, that helps, but, the exposure, but it's mostly because everything that I learned pretty much through the years with any type of art, I learned it on YouTube, you know, or online somewhere, blogs, and I think I hear the garage door, so my husband's going to be coming in, and hopefully the puppies won't bark, but they might. All right, I'm going to open this up so we can kind of get this side too, because, you know, we want to collage the inside as well as the outside. Oh, you know what? I wanted to add, I think I wanted to add a little bit of this in here too. More of the script, because I'm looking at the Stamperia tissue paper, and it has a script in it. Whoops. This is a little... This is printed on some nice parchment style paper. Yep, and he comes, so I gotta tell him I'm doing a video. Oh, here's some script. So I do have some script here. I think I'm just going to cut that right in half. And then I think I'll put that down here, and then we can do some of that rice paper. So I enjoy making anything where I'm tearing and using glue. It's like very therapeutic. That's why I love to make master boards. Now with my master boards, you know, I was watching Christy over at Burlap and Daily Bread the other day, and she was talking about everybody's doing these master boards, and you know, I don't scan, I'm not going to do that and scan those and this and that. And I'm thinking, I never have. When I do a master board, I will sew I'll sew them and all that, and then I don't scan the ones I made or anything. I just use them as is. So I guess maybe I should start scanning them and using them as printables. And I never thought about that. So normally I just use them as tags and tuck spots and things like that. Okay, so I think we've got a fair amount of that. Now let's use some of this beautiful Stamperia, and it's like a rice paper, and it really is pretty for decoupage and collage. They have a beautiful variety, and you know, I like to use their papers as well. They have beautiful, beautiful papers. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to be using some Stamperia paper that I have left over on this next project, the last board project, and using some of, and doing it as my design team project for Junk with Steph. And she's got some gorgeous digitals. Oh boy, does she ever. And I really like using her digis, and she's got a lot on there. She's really worked hard this last year, and getting her digital kits and her digital papers and making a really nice variety. And the nice thing I like about this, using this rice paper, of course napkins will do the same thing, is you can see what your papers are below. So it gives it a, because it's like translucent, so you can, it just gives a real pretty look to your piece that you're, this is a little bit larger than I want. And I will use every bit of this somewhere. And if I don't use this whole sheet in this project, I won't waste any of this. I save these little pieces for the end. So when I sell my journals and I package them up, I always add some little extras, you know, in there. So that's why I like to use these kind of, you know, make these kind of things, and maybe add one of these in there as a thank you, you know, a thank you gift. And they look pretty when you put them on the front. And what fun Happy Mail too as well. Oops, get a little glue down there. So we're starting to get super hot out down here in South Florida, and so I said, we were on our way into church this morning, and I said to my husband, I said, well, spring is over, summer's here. Technically it's not, but it is here. So this is, unlike other people, my time inside the house is more in the summer, in you know, late spring and summer and early fall than it is in the winter, except for in the evenings. Then we do cool down a little bit, but there's some really hot nights too. As in the winter, I'm out as much as possible because that's when, you know, our easy, the beautiful weather is, I should say. And, you know, I don't tolerate the cold anymore, and I don't tolerate the heat. So I said, you know, a perfect temperature for me would probably be, you know, about 82, low humidity, fairly unattainable. So this is coming together pretty nice. Let me see if I can get some color in over here. A little pink. So as you can see, all I'm doing is tearing and sticking and finding empty spaces to do it. And you really end up with a quite, you know, a pretty piece when you're done. You can't mess up, really. There is no messing up when it comes to decoupage and collage. It's all, and it's, like I've said, therapeutic and just enjoyable. Hey, you guys, they each have a bowlie stick. And I don't know if you guys that have dogs, if you know what bowlie sticks are, but they smell really bad. And they're great for the dog's teeth. But I have one dog that literally will scarf that bowlie stick down so fast. And they should, my Chihuahua, it takes her hours and hours and hours to eat one of these, but the other one will be done, hers in no time flat, and then go over and decide she wants the other ones. So she's like, okay, I'll help myself to yours now because mine's gone, and that doesn't go over real well. So you'll hear a little growling now and then over there, and they work it out. You know, they'll work it out. Every now and then I have to come in and say, okay, guys, break it up, you know. I think I want to do a little, I think I'm going to put this over there. Because I get chatting and I'm not even really watching what I'm doing here. So I think we'll put this right here. And let's see, we need a little something over here. And then we'll dry it, and then we'll do the back. But I think what I'll do is do the back, you know, off camera. And I know right now it looks like I mean, It probably looks like a real crazy mess, but it really, when it's finished and you add a little stamping and some color to it, it all blends. I do a nice coating of Mod Podge again at the very end of it. And you get a nice texture. And these last. I mean, you could do an entire journal cover like this and it would be pretty cool, actually. And I've seen more and more journal covers lately that are completely just a collage. Speaking of collage, I was watching this artist the other day that all he does is these collages, and he cuts out these intricate, tiniest of little images. And then he builds from there, and oh my gracious sake, these pieces are amazing. And he'll work on one piece and they'll be the size of, a huge, like a huge painting, basically. It's a piece of art, and it'll fill a wall. I mean, oh, incredible. Very gifted. I never thought about collage being a total. I always think of it as being part of mixed media, in with your other projects and things like that. But it's a whole art form of its on its own. When you get like that intricate, and I see a lot of people, using their magazines and pieces and things like that. Which I've never done. I've only collaged with junk. Well, I wouldn't call this junk, but you know what I mean. Not, I should say leftovers, things I have, usually offcuts, and it's a way to clean out my, here, I like this little, got a little butterfly here. Actually, I think I'll save that butterfly for the other side. I just need a little something up here, and then a little bit here. Okay, and up here in this corner, a little on my finger there. And then you can see I do have some pieces hanging off the edge, and I'll simply, when this dries, is either take them over to the other side, or I will cut them off. So, got a couple more spaces to cover. And then this side will be ready for me to stamp on, or I'll probably just do maybe a little script stamping, something like that, but I can't do it while it's wet. I have to wait till it dries. So the front of this is pretty much done, and I will stamp before I do my final whatever. So I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to be back for part 2. I'm going to do this side, and then part 2 we'll do a little stamping on it, and then we will put our slits in here, and I'll show you how to do that. You got to be careful so you don't, go all the way through both sides. So I'll show you how I do that, and I'm going to go ahead and finish collaging this side. And what I meant before is I will simply take, see this tissue here, that way not to waste it, and just flip it right over the edge like that. And as you can see, just like that. That way I'm not wasting any of that lovely rice paper. So you get an idea. Flip it right over. And I don't worry about this. I will flip this right over, but this part will, of course, when we're ready to construct it, get glued over here, of course. So then we have our journal cover. So, okay. I'll finish this up and I will be back for part 2 soon. And I'll probably pop them both up today. That way you guys can do this whole project maybe Sunday evening. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.